You know, he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
Hey guys, welcome to the think tank. How y'all doing today? Is it starting to get a little bit folly where you are? It sure is here. We even dropped below zero. I was like, oh my goodness, it's coming too fast. The summer was everything's on fire, and now we're getting ready for winter. I had a busy day today. So I did a little bit of researching again this morning, had some real life stuff that I had to deal with, and basically just kind of raced in. So Dr. Amie Harwick, I would like to talk about her. This happened a couple of years ago, but the trial is happening now. So it's a matter of, she had her bedroom on the 3rd floor of her house, and a fellow that she dated about 10 years previous ran into her. She was frightened by the reaction and added some cameras and did a lot of things to help protect herself. This will stop in about 2 seconds. So did a lot of things to protect herself. She went out with some friends, and she came home, and allegedly this guy was in her house. Oh my word, barking, ringing. Let everybody settle. So yeah, let's take a look at Dr. Amie Harwick. So let's see here. I hope you guys can see the screen well. I just thought we'd take a quick look. This is from Wikipedia and gives us kind of a good idea. It gives us a good idea about her life, just basically the basics. But she was a very, very smart lady. She had all sorts of accolades. So very beautiful, very smart. So I just boosted up a little bit, but we'll go through this before we get into anything else. I got phones ringing, messages coming in. So Amie Nicole Harwick, she was 38 years old when this happened to her. She was adopted. She worked as a Playboy model, a dance performer, and this was all to pay for her education. She studied psychology at California State Polytech University in Pomona. She got a Master of Arts degree from Pepperdine University in clinical psychology, a PhD from the non-accredited Institute for Advanced Study in Human Activities, and later became a licensed marriage and family therapist. She was a well-known therapist in West Hollywood, specializing in family and adult counseling. She regularly appeared on podcasts, TV, and she did have her own YouTube channel. She wrote a couple books, and she was working at the time that she passed at Pineapple Support. It's an organization for adult work positive mental health professionals that had been founded back in 2017 in the wake of a rash of adult industry self-deleting. Harwick dated Drew Carey. They first met at a party in 2017, and he posted a photo of them together on his Instagram that said, "The face of a lottery winner." Within a year, Carey proposed to her and became engaged. The engagement was called off in 2018. They split up, and it was amicable. So he's told many times in many interviews how he still loved her. And I do believe that we're going to read about their last conversation. So sad. So February 15th, 2020, Amie Harwick was found under her balcony, and this was in her own home. And she passed away after being taken to the hospital. The initial investigation found that she had been attacked and thrown from that third floor after a fight. The suspect is her ex-boyfriend, Gareth Pursehouse. So 2 times she filed restraining orders. And it says here that these new arrests will be with the special circumstances of lying in wait, breaking an entry, and burglary. He was released under a $2 million bail bond and rearrested after pleading not guilty on April 16th, 2020. And his trial just started here back on August 29th. So that gives us kind of a rough idea. May 20th, 1981 is her birthday. Amie Nicole Harwick. She's buried at White Marsh Memorial Park in Pennsylvania. She also went by Amie Nicole. Family and adult counselor, talks about her books and gives her website. So I did find her Facebook. It's interesting. Hey there, James. How you doing, DB? How you guys doing? I haven't seen you for a while, mister. I've been, I think, weird hours for you to be participating. I love seeing you, though, friend. Hey, Franky, how you doing, my friend? It's good to see you as well. So, yeah, due to the appointments I had today, this was about the best time I could do this. I usually like to do it in the morning, but you know what? I have been so wrapped up with some of these other cases. It's like, oh my word, there's some of these ones here. Like this guy was following her. He had two restraining orders over the time that she had to have against this guy. He was violent when they were together, And, you know, no matter, she had money, you know, she was a hard worker, and she was able to basically seal that house up so she didn't have to worry. But you know what? When you got someone who's deranged, in my opinion, they will find a way, right? So her Facebook, we'll just look at it really quickly here. It does give you, you know, if you go through it, you kind of understand maybe what her life was like a little bit. And, you know, all I hear about her is nothing but good, that she just wanted to help people, and that she was very, very dedicated to what she did, what she chose as a career. So this is really, we probably won't really dig our teeth into it too much. It's just an idea. So yeah, all sorts of different things. Dr. Amie Harwick. It was lovely to attend the XBiz Awards. So this is for the adult industry, for adult performers. The founder of that, Leah Tannett, won Woman of the Year for her good work when she started this nonprofit after a string of self-deleting in the adult industry. So yeah, she, from everything that I hear, was just a fantastic person. Thank you, Pineapple Support, for having me at XBiz. She went to trauma. This was at a trauma seminar. So she really, really was dedicated to her choice of careers. Just due to the fact that she is, hello, Mixie. Hello, Perry. Good to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. So, you know, the fact that she was a dancer at one time and what have you, I'm not going to go through a lot of the stuff in there, because even though she's passed, I still think she deserves some kind of privacy. It just blows me away what gets out in the media and just goes like a grass fire. It's insane. Just insane. So I have to be careful. Mexi. Don't be long. I'm doing good, FARQ. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. How are you feeling, my friend? Are you feeling better, Mexi? So we'll go through this a little bit. There, you know, there is not as much as I would expect out there. I really, really thought that there would be an abundance of information. But you know what happens is now we've got, I think it's Court TV. It's one of these guys who have the only camera in there. So being that there's just that one camera, you can't really share it, because they do like to make an issue out of what you're sharing. So I just learned that recently about them. I really thought they were much better, but no, sadly not. So nearly 3 years ago, prominent family and therapist Dr. Amie Harwick was found clinging to life beneath the bedroom balcony. It was hours after Valentine's Day, and police received a report of a young woman screaming. The 38-year-old, who was the former fiancé of comedian Drew Carey, was rushed to the hospital, where she later passed from her injuries. So I think what basically They defense is saying that she like took off onto that balcony. It was just off of her bedroom, like part of her bedroom, and that she fell. She accidentally fell. Well, the other side is saying, no, that didn't happen. It sounded like there was some stuff going on with his hands and her throat. So they are very much saying that he just dropped her, you know. So, I mean, when we learn a little bit about him, he is like another creepy AF, in my personal opinion. So her death is being explored in the premiere episode of Investigation Discovery New Crimes docuseries Death by Fame. The show promises to examine the sinister side of stardom and how it gravely impacted those on the rise. It features new interviews with investigators, loved ones, and the closely associated with the case being featured. I haven't watched it, but I'm going to look for it. There's a couple out there right now that I want to see. But for whatever reason, there's just not the information out about here about her. I would have expected a lot more. I really would have. So I originally wasn't planning on speaking out, but there are so many things Amie was about. Her friend Marciela or Marcy Mendoza, who sat down for an episode. Very pretty girl. One of the different causes she was advocating for was changing following laws. We had discussed her going to the police, and they told her they couldn't do anything. We know this story because he hadn't done anything yet. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And it is used as an excuse, in my personal opinion, for them to be lazy at any given time. Because often this is the result. You don't get a second chance always. It just blows me away. Oh my word. We wanted to be vigilant about what was going on, but that wasn't enough to stop what happened. And that is the scary part about this. Really, I mean, some of these mansions that these wackadoodles get into, where they've got gates and they've got dogs and security this and electric that. Some of these wackadoodles get in. It's like, what? She had cameras. So it says Mendoza and Harwick first met in early 2000 at a recording studio. They later reconnected at a fashion show, and a friendship soon blossomed. She was a very bubbly and vibrant person, Mendoza recalled. She just wanted to get to know me. And I've heard this quite a few times while researching this, that really that's all that they oh, sorry. Oh my goodness. Is Dandy in the chat? I'm coming to you guys. No. Oh my word, you people I adore you. I do. No, like the ones that you use at a hospital. Like the yucky ones. Oh my goodness, my friends, I just love yous. So let's see here. She would ask questions, and this is what I was gonna say. Yeah, so many people said that she wanted to learn about them. Wasn't really overly interested about talking about herself. She would, but she really wanted to get to know you and would spend time getting to know you, which not a lot of people do these days. So she said, I think that's what really connected us. That spark in her, that fire in her. Sometimes you couldn't get a word in, but in that process, she got a lot out of you. She wanted to get to know me. I wanted to get to know her, and then a friendship was born. Beautiful. The Pennsylvania native moved to Los Angeles in 2001, and she led a thriving practice in West Hollywood. So we know that she did write a couple of books based on her education. Before finding success, Harwick dated Gareth Pursehouse, and this was back in 2010s. For just a few months, he was a software engineer and aspiring comedian. Well, that was an epic fail. I don't know if you guys seen any of his performances, but no. So let's see here. So he also took on side gigs as a photographer. Mendoza alleged Pursehouse left many of Harwick's friends, including her, feel uneasy. And at one point, it sounds like Amie told her that the relationship just wasn't working. When they were together, he was very positive, she claimed. He was the type of person who would tell you things to bring you down, to make you feel less about yourself. Oh my word, I'm sure we've all met those people. He would joke about you or your appearance and then just say, I'm just joking. That's a jealous damn man. Like, what? Narcissistic much, buddy? But he would say it in a very vindictive and malicious way. And she was afraid of him, which is absolutely heartbreaking. Well, hello, Dandy. That's awesome. Thank you so much, FARQ. That is so awesome. Welcome, welcome to Fantasy Island. Yeah. So I met Gareth around the time they started dating, Mendoza continued. There were points in time where I just didn't want to hang out. If she brought him along, just because I didn't get a good feeling about him. I just felt like he was very possessive of her, too possessive. We would go out, just the three of us. My boyfriend was always working. I was like the third wheel in this relationship. If there was a guy around who would look at her, he would then pull her in. It always made me feel uncomfortable. It just gave me bad feelings. And the fact that he was making fun of her and all of this stuff, I mean, yeah, knock him down so you can lift him up. We know your type, buddy. We had all told her to break up with him. So, Pursehouse was depicted as and controlling, and this was in the 2 restraining orders that she filed against him back in 2011 and 2012. He has told me he hit me because I made him so mad, she wrote in the restraining order. The Los Angeles Times quoted. He refused to get help while in the relationship. A year after the breakup, Harwick told a judge in 2012 that he was still harassing her. I noted that the judge barred Pursehouse from contact with her until 2015. She would occasionally refer to Pursehouse in conversations as my follower. According to the outlet Rolling Stone, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office alleged that she had largely forgotten about house. It had been long enough. I mean, he should have been a non-entity by this time. The guy's troubled. Just beautiful gals. So in her life after Gareth, a lot of her new friends knew she had a crazy ex-boyfriend, but they didn't really know the history of that. And it doesn't sound like she really shared the fact that she had to get those restraining orders. So this is from Drew Carey. I hope you're lucky enough to have someone in your life that loves as much as she did. So meanwhile, Harwick attempted to move on. She met Drew Carey at a party in Hollywood, and it says that they fell for each other quite fast. She did. She made a guest appearance on the 2018, it was the Valentine's Day, Price is Right. He introduced her, to millions of viewers. But it says that they split amicably, my tongue, months after announcing their engagement. So Hollywood pressures contributed to their breakup. Pursehouse was becoming more triggered every time there was a headline about their union. Carey described how Harwick would tell him that someone was attempting to sully her reputation online. She believed Pursehouse may have been watching her. It's hard to believe he's 65 now. Like, what? 65 years old, Drew Carey. Man. So it was back in January 2020 that she attended the X-Biz Awards, and this was at the Marriott Hotel. She wasn't aware that Pursehouse was in attendance as a photographer. So Pursehouse, who hadn't seen his ex in 8 years, became furious and weepy at the sight of her. Because that's normal. One friend told People magazine that Harwick went into therapist mode when he noticed her there. So it says that she went into therapist mode and de-escalated the situation. And then he approached her after the show. So her friend was telling her to go to the police. The way he was behaving was just so unhinged. I felt like he was in some sort of delusional state. And of course, when she went to the police, they said, we can't do nothing. So they decided that she would stay vigilant. And that's when she got all of that stuff done around her house. So, and they are saying that on February 15th, 2020, just after midnight, that she was thrown over that balcony. Carey wrote in a statement that she was a positive force in the world, a tireless and unapologetic champion for women, and passionate about her work as a therapist. It said that he was overcome with grief and said that he would like to thank you in advance for giving myself and everyone who loved Amie privacy while we work through this tragedy. Like, oh my goodness. So, oh, they were cute together. You did. That was so nice for you. Thank you. Yeah, they were cute together. Yeah. I guess there's the one that they found in on the or like on that deck, just off of her bedroom. Yeah, just off of her bedroom. And then they found another one that was at his house. Because, you know, that's what people do, is they just walk around with stuff like that. And yeah, both of them had enough. Where would you buy straight nicotine like that. That's insane. And yeah, that was his plan. Is that right, FARQ? I had no idea. I had no idea. And I didn't know, like I say, I didn't know you could get that in liquid form. Really? Oh my goodness. Oh, are you serious, Dandy? That's scary shite. I mean, right? Not giving people ideas out there. That's for darn sure. I don't think it would. No. No. Don't do it. So in this article from People, it does talk a little bit about Drew Carey's last call before Amie Harwick passed away. Weren't they cute together? Like, you're right. Absolutely. So this again was on this 48 hours, the final hours of Amie Harwick. So I don't know. Let's see here. 2022. So it's been out a bit. It's been out for a while now. So it's probably easy to get on YouTube or something. So it said, I got a text from her that read, I would love to get together with you and talk. Carrie, 63, recalled. And I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. I love you. So Erin Moriarty was interviewing him and asked if he's sad that he never got the chance to meet up with Harwick. And I guess he got quite emotional. I never had a chance to do it. After Moriarty reminds him that Harwick loved him. Carrie says, that's the big solace I get from it, that she loved me, and I'm glad I could get that message to her before she passed away. So again, she was the author of that book, and I'm not sure the name. I'm sure I'll see it, but she had the two of them out. So in the early hours of February 15th, 2020, Harwick was deleted after being attacked and thrown from a balcony, allegedly by ex-boyfriend Gareth Pursehouse. Police later charged him with burglary and her deleting. So alleging that the 41-year-old waited outside her Hollywood Hills apartment for her to return before attacking her inside of her home. Again, he had over time 2 different restraining orders. And of course, same as them all, no, I'm not guilty. She did that to herself. Oh my goodness. So it says that Carrie had once said that Amie and I had a love that people are lucky to have once in a lifetime. They really cared for each other. She was a positive force, a tireless, unapologetic champion for women, and passionate about her work as a therapist. Just heartbreaking. She had so many friends. Back in September 2018, I was in a beautiful, great, best relationship of my life with a woman named Amie Harwick. She was a therapist, mental health advocate. She had a PhD and a master's degree, and she was beautiful and fun and cared deeply about people and improving their lives and was just a joy to be around. I was so in love with her. Even after we broke up, we still loved each other very much. Even though we broke up the engagement, I was still so in love with her, and she loved me back. Oh my goodness, eh? So he said in that interview, I don't know if I ever will want to celebrate Valentine's with a dinner. You know, I just don't want to do anything. Valentine's Day sucks now. In true Carrie lingo. Sucks. Just not a good day to remember. I think about her every single day. Said he could be very, very open and honest with her. And from everything I've read, she just has been so easy to talk to. Yeah, everybody loved her. It's so sad. She's got a good sense of humor, that girl. Everyone does. Every once in a while, I'm nervous to look at chat. Merci. I love it. Oh my goodness. So we'll just take a quick look at this here. Her home is just beautiful. I watched some of the body cam footage when the cops went into this house when this happened. And oh my goodness, what a beautiful old house. Oh, I think you're right. He looks way different. And yeah, I think his monster is showing. Good way to put it. Good way to put it. I quite like it when somebody's outside starts to look like they're inside, you know? And it seems to happen. It seems to happen. Karma's a biatch. Don't bug her. So it says here that in the early mornings of February 15th, 2020, that police found Amie Harwick, the high-profile family therapist, clinging to life beneath the balcony outside of her home. Again, this was right off of her bedroom. So she was rushed to the hospital, and the police questioned her roommate. He was the one that called 911. He couldn't find his own phone, so he went around the neighborhood trying to awake somebody, and finally someone that was walking by helped him make this call or let him use the phone. They set out to interview neighbors and look for surveillance camera, anything to explain what had happened to her. Like, look. So it says hours earlier, her Valentine's Day had started peacefully with a sunrise hike with her friend Cleopatra Slough. I think that's how you say her last name. So this actually, it's pretty long, but we'll look at bits and pieces. So it says that Cleopatra got to her house and had gone in because Amie hadn't gotten ready yet. They went upstairs to her bedroom, and it says that it was very beautiful. I thought so too. And this nice balcony, all the natural light, and she was running around trying to get busy last minute. She grabbed this little cardigan. It's Valentine's Day. I'm just going to throw this on. So Amie acted like the tour guide, and they climbed the winding Hollywood Hills streets. Cleopatra said she was pointing out all these different landmarks she liked, telling me different stories about the neighborhood. They stopped for breakfast at the Beechwood Cafe. Cleopatra said that she talked a lot about how happy she was, that she felt accomplished and happy with where she was in life. She was getting some peace. And it's saying that she wasn't worried. So Cleopatra, we're all going to that. It was a burlesque show. And the girls all dressed up all fancy. And I don't know if there's a... So we'll get to know this a little bit, but she was wearing a couple of rosaries. She had on a leather jacket, purse, boots, and a velvet dress. So that necklace would become evidence later on. So the burlesque show started about 7. And it says that they brought this little Kodak camera, taking all these film photos together. So this would be them down here. And this is the lady that was actually the dancer that they were going to see. And it's these rosaries. They were all looking happy. So the friends left the Globe Theatre and they ended up at Nomad until about 12:18. Around 1 a.m., Amie pulled into her driveway. She texted her friend Sarah Rowlands to send pictures from the Nomad. I just want to... So moments later, let's see here, at around 1, Amie pulled into her driveway. So at 1:02, she wanted the pictures. Moments later, police believe she climbed the stairs to her 3rd floor bedroom, and that's when she was attacked. And they do think that he was probably there laying in wait for hours. Or, well, they say in here 4 hours. So the roommate, who was on the basement floor or the lower level, said that he was jolted awake, couldn't find his cell phone, and she was screaming, and then it was a muffled scream, and just bad. So it's saying that, well, the roommate says that he tried to yell up the stairs to scare the guy away. But then he ran for help, said he couldn't find his cell phone. And he was trapped inside that courtyard. So he had to go over the metal fence. I think we've seen that. He climbed over this so he could go knocking on people's doors. And he ended up like scraping and cutting and oh my goodness. So yeah, this was the burlesque show. And then a few hours later, this happened. So let's see here. So yeah, unable to find his phone. He just tries yelling to scare the assailant away. He ended up having to scale that metal fence, cutting himself, but does make it over. And, you know, you see him go to a few different houses, like I said, and no one was answering their doors. It was now 1:08, and he was frantic. He ran down the street, and again, no one was answering. So that's when he noticed the fellow on the street, and it was about 1:14 a.m. So this here is Amie's balcony, and that is on the 3rd floor. So that's when police found Amie lying 20 feet below her bedroom balcony, and she was struggling. It's cement under there. Like, oh my goodness. The whole patio is cement. Police noted that Amie had severe injuries and deep marks on her neck. Signs that she had been attacked via the neck before she fell from that balcony. At 2:05, Sarah Rowlands, who had no idea Amie was clinging to life at the time, texts that photo of her sitting on that green couch. But when that went through, she was already on her way to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center and passed away at 3:26 a.m. So she didn't smoke, drink, or anything. So that made them really take a look at why on God's green earth would something that you can inject with is full of straight nicotine. It wasn't hers, right? So this is the evening that Drew Carey introduced her as his fiance on The Price is Right. Just adorable. Alrighty then. Drew Carey, you want an intimate relationship where you can open up to somebody completely, and she was that for me. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's a cute ice cream cone. Says their first date, they went to Disneyland. Love it. So, yeah, just... This is something that I found really interesting. They say ate fire. This was something she did before she had her, or during the time she was getting her education. Go-go dancing, she bartended, paid her way through college. Eating fire. Drew Carey, she had a fire act that she would do and like really hustled. Drew Carey, I fell so hard for her. It felt to me like finally here's the everything I ever wanted. Ooh. I have a lot of body issues about the way I look. But I would like take my shirt off around her and not care, and she would love me. Like she didn't care. She just always thought I was hot. So, yeah, heartbreaking. So this is Aaron Moriarty. So look at him. Creepy. 48 hours. So check that out. How sad. Just unreal. Well, hello, Mind of Monsters. Good to see you, Mom. Welcome, welcome. It's a thing. How you doing, Emily? Good to see you guys. Yeah, Disneyland for a first date. Like, yes, please. Yes, please. I would love it. Yeah, you're making the money if you're Drew Carey. Yeah. Yeah, remember he was a comedian, Mom? And then he started doing The Price is Right. Yeah, actor. You're younger than me. I'd love Disneyland. Oh, my word, Jazz. That was me. Sorry. Yeah, the Drew Carey show. It was hilarious. So I can only show you bits and pieces of this, but there is pictures of him playing with that camera, that Ring camera. They've got the pictures. I mean, he didn't quite look like this at the time. So yeah, the defense suggests she fell, not thrown. Not guilty. Like, are you kidding me? So this is a long crime. Check them out down here. Not the article. Yeah, they've got Ring footage appearing to show Pursehouse before and after this happened. The prosecution went first when they were having their opening statements, and they said how their case will allegedly show Pursehouse broke into Amie's home on Valentine's Day with a syringe loaded with nicotine, and then waited hours for her to return to that house. They believe Pursehouse then attacked and, handled her neck. Before her screams woke up her roommate downstairs, prosecutors believe that he then panicked and threw Harwick over her third-story balcony before fleeing the scene. He was arrested and was covered with fresh cuts and bruises, while another one of these, again filled with nicotine, at Harwick's, was also discovered at his home. So he had two of these things. Seems to have scratched himself up a little bit. Wow. So they dated about 10 years ago. She had to get those restraining orders, and didn't see him until they were at an event back in January of 2020. He was working as a photographer and she was there as a guest. They spoke, and a friend of hers, Dr. Hernando Chavez, testified he overheard Pursehouse telling Harwick, "You ruined my life, you biatch." In email, she sent herself an email. That is telling you something about her fear level right there. So in this, she, the same night of their interaction, bumping into each other, she wrote, "Today I felt very scared after running into Pursehouse." She also said that he was shaking violently while speaking with her, and she felt like she had to neutralize this conversation and talk him down. "I didn't think he was going to attack me at that moment, but this clearly showed me how obsessed he was. He told me he thinks about me every day, and every day he cries." 10 years ago. What? A whack job. He's obsessed, and he told me he lost his job when we broke up because he couldn't work. He told me that no matter what he did, he couldn't stop obsessing over me. He told me that I was a cheater and a liar because he thought we were still together when I believe we were broken up, she continued. What? So he recited this text message that I sent him from this time frame. So about 9 years ago, he recited this and the date, who they were, and exactly what was said, word for word. Are you kidding me? Like, this is one fellow? Not stable. He says he thought about her constantly, and it made her very frightened. Said, "I'm pretty nervous. I'm more on his radar now," she added. "It terrifies me that he's been obsessing with me for 9 years. Yeah, that's scary. Can't move on, cries and throws tantrums in his way. And they redacted this and focusing on harming me. Text messages between Harwick and Pursehouse were also shown during opening arguments, with the defendant messaging the victim after their interaction and finding her phone number online. Though he hoped to continue the conversation, she declined. So when it came time for the defense to give their opening statements, Purshouse's attorney said that running into Harwick at the event in January of 2020 sent his client into a deep, debilitating depression that he was not able to overcome, because that's normal. No. The evidence will show that running into her at that event set him into a thick fog of depression. I think there's a reason he's probably put on a few pounds. I bet you that he needed medication. This is so not normal. So, yeah, this thick fog of depression made him feel the only way he could get some relief was to go and talk to her, saying evidence will show he never intended on harming her, let alone what he did. He broke into her home. He had not been there. She would have... Had he have not been there, she wouldn't have passed that night. This is not in dispute. He set a chain of events in action that led to her passing. The evidence will show he never intended on doing this. So, if that is the case, yeah, here we go. Addressing that nicotine. So, yes, one reasonable inference is that Pursehouse intended to permanently delete her with that nicotine. They also said another reasonable inference is that he thought with the intent to do this to himself. If that was the case, he would have done that. The defense also said they have an expert witness who will testify one possible scenario. Yeah. No. So again, Law and Crime, I'm not going to share their stuff, but check them out. So they are talking about the witnesses that had him on the their ring door, their ring cameras. The neighbor testified that her landlord first reached out to her asking if her security cameras caught anything on the night of her passing. So they all basically took a look, and she said that hers had been triggered 4 different times, and she did send that into law enforcement. The first video shows a man going through her property a little past 8:50 p.m., blocking 2 of the cameras with his hands as he walked past them. She said she didn't recognize the man in the footage and never gave anyone permission to be on that property or tamper with those cameras. The 4th clip from hours later at 1:11 showed someone running away from the property. Minutes after, this is so sad, just minutes after the roommate woke to her yelling for help. So, yeah, there was another friend that got on the stand, and he said that this guy, when he bumped into Amie, was hostile and angry, and it was escalating. So after calling her a biatch, he also said after the event, Harwick told her friend about her fear and being afraid of Pursehouse, saying, "She told me that she was scared and that she had long felt fear towards this ex." He said that the two of them talked about a safety plan for Harwick and revealed that they spoke about having someone change or reinforce the locks on her doors and windows. They also talked about her getting mace, pepper spray, a taser, or even a bang bang. Amazing the words I can't say. I sound like a 2-year-old. Oh, what a case. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Hey, Wolfie, good to see you, friend. Good to see. As always. So, yeah, some places are saying 10 years, some are saying 9 years. So, yeah, I think between 7 and 9 years is a pretty good guesstimate. Oh, this is it, Wolfie. They are like, they're unhinged. This was a long time after they dated, like years. And he was still woohooing? That is not normal. That is not healthy. And yeah, she was right to consider him a danger. It's too bad the cops didn't understand. Yeah, 9 years, friend. Isn't that insane? Yeah. Yeah, she dated a couple other famous guys too that kind of surprised me. But I'm not sure where I found those. Yeah, always good to see you, Wolfie. So the last I have is her memorial. And, you know, this tells us a lot about the kind of person she was. So, a vibrant life cut short. Amie Nicole Harwick was an accomplished therapist, a published author, an outspoken champion. Oh, my word. Oh, there are so many other fish in that sea, friend. It's like, are you kidding me? Oh, my word. So, yeah, she had been engaged to Drew Carey for a while. In the morning hours of February 15th, 2020, Amie was attacked in her Hollywood Hills home. Her death was a senseless tragedy that robbed the world of a brilliant and talented woman who was just hitting her stride in life. Well, she is now buried in her hometown of Lansdale, Pennsylvania. She left behind hundreds, if not thousands, of friends in Los Angeles, where she lived for most of her adult life. This project is seeking the funds to design and construct a bronze memorial of Amie to be installed at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And will be featured with a plaque dedicated to the women who have lost their lives to DV. The memorial will serve as a place to gather, to find solace and an inspiration to live our lives as fiercely as she lived hers. We're going to continue raising funds for this project until we reach the full amount. We hope to be able to do it in 2023, but we will work as long as it takes. The website has detailed information about Annie, the project plan, and about the team putting this together. There are also links to the media coverage. So this is, her memorial. I am going to put, let's go down here. So this is the link to the memorial. If anybody wants to help out with that cause. Young, never should have happened. Not in a million years should this have happened. People had to notice before this time how unstable this guy was, because if he was sitting at home, making snot balls, well, somebody probably seen him. It's pathetic that there are still people in this world that are that narcissistic, that all about me, that you hurt me 10 years ago, so I'm going to come back and make you disappear forever. There's guys that do this, and there's also women who do this. So, friends, as always, keep safe. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to use our voice. If we don't use our voice, these characters just get worse. They don't get better. They start harming in a bigger way. They will start deleting if they feel they have a reason for it. This guy, 9, 10 years, 7 to 10 years, somewhere in there, the numbers are saying. What's wrong with his head? I honestly think that the reason he's kind of expanded is they've probably got him on some kind of medication that will slow him down, because he just, at the time, at least in my opinion, was not even close to mentally sound. So there's that. So, as everybody says, if you see something, say something. You could save a life. So with that said, friends, thank you ever so much for being here with me. As always, I appreciate you like tons. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.